Frank Riker. He says, Lee, Ends could be the worst Halloween movie, but for me, it's more about how they kill or don't kill Michael. The death of Michael Myers. The death of Michael Myers. Question for you guys. Do you want Michael Myers to die in this movie once and for all? This is the 13th movie. If he does die, I was thinking about this today. I love my boy. I don't want my boy to ever die. But if he dies in this trilogy, they're going to make more of the movies anyway. This is going to wrap up this story. But my personal opinion, Michael Myers isn't supposed to die. If you go by the intention of the character from John Carpenter himself, this came out of John Carpenter's mouth. John Carpenter said, evil never dies. That's what Michael Myers is. Michael Myers is the embodiment, the human embodiment of evil. And that's the whole point of the very last scene of the first Halloween. When, they went through all this stuff. She stabbed him with the clothes hanger. She stabbed him with the knife. He shot 6 times, or 7, which version you watch, by Loomis. And then he gets up at the end. He gets up. And if you've seen the A Cut Above the... I think it's the Cut Above the Rest documentary. Or it might have been Unmasked 2000. I can't remember. But John Carpenter said the reason he did that was because he wanted the audience to not feel safe at the end of the movie. He wanted Laurie Strode, the town of Haddonfield, to not feel safe at the end of the movie. Oh my God, we just did all this damage to this guy. He got up and he walked away. He never says a word throughout the whole movie. And that just immortalizes him even more. He doesn't... The more you watch, even the first Halloween, the more you realize he's not a human being. Gradually, you start realizing he's not a human being, especially in that last act. And that's kind of the charm of the first movie too. Is like the first time you ever watch the first movie, you think it's a normal guy. You think it's just a normal guy, escaped a mental ward, and he can die just like the rest of us. And so then when all this shit starts happening to him in the third act, then you start realizing, oh my God, he's pretty much indestructible. And so that kind of changes things. So yeah, he's the Shape. They called him the Shape for a reason, because he's pure evil. So keeping in line with the first movie, I think the end of Halloween Ends should send a chill down everybody's spine. Oh my God, he's evil. One thought I had about the Corey character, part of me was wondering, are they... And I hope to God they're not doing this, because Michael Myers is Michael Myers. He's nobody else. So I'm hoping and praying, and I don't think they are, but I'm hoping and praying that they're not passing Michael and his essence and his powers to Corey. And that's one thing that I was kind of concerned about, that exchange in the tunnel, where Corey has that interaction, as we see in the trailer. And I even said this in my trailer reaction, is there some sort of supernatural exchange in there? And could that be the thing that really will piss people off? I don't know. So I'm excited about the Corey character. Even the first time I heard that there was this new character, Corey, I got excited. I was like, oh, they're bringing in some new blood, and he's not just a victim. This is a guy who could possibly take over or be a copycat killer. I think the thing that most people would want, what I've seen anyway, out of Corey is, and you guys let me know if you think I'm wrong here. Corey comes into the picture somehow at the first act. Somehow Michael Myers is taken out of the picture. I don't know how. Somehow he's taken out, and Corey becomes Myers. Doesn't become, but you know what I mean? He takes over as the killer. Myers comes back in the third act. And that got me really excited, thinking of the idea of having Myers coming back and saying, hey, this is my territory, and completely slaying Corey. It's one of those plots that kind of writes itself, because it's one of those give me what I want plot. This is what the audience would probably want. I don't know, guys. This movie could go anywhere. And I think that's what David Gordon Green's wanting to do. But back to the question I asked you guys, what was the one scene that annoyed you the most about Halloween 2018? And I knew the answer to this. It's Sartain. Okay? Sartain, that is a frustrating scene for a lot of people. And it's another one of those things that's explainable, but I don't want to see it in my movie. I get the psychology of it. I get that this guy was interested in the mind. I mean, we're all interested in the mind of serial killers, okay? What's the number one show on Netflix right now? Right? You tell me, guys. What's the show that you guys are all watching right now and you can't get enough of it, and it's so interesting, and it's about a monster, you know? Dahmer. Everybody's into Dahmer, and I love. It's a great freaking show. It's amazing. I love, just because of Evan Peters' performance. It's so good. It's so good. It's like must-see TV. We are like Sartain. We want to know what is in the mind of a killer, especially if he's extremely eccentric. You know, Dahmer was extreme. Like, he was out of left field, very eccentric, and the show really gave you an inside look into his mind. So, if Michael Myers was real, he would be very interesting. I mean, this guy that never says a word and just randomly goes around killing people. To me, I always like the sibling angle because that makes it even more creepy. This guy wants to kill every member of his own family. That's creepy as hell. That's Sartain's hang-up. You know, Sartain, he's always been interested. Why doesn't he ever say a word? He wants him to speak. That he even used Aaron at the beginning of the movie. You know, he wanted Aaron to approach him. He wanted to see if he could get a reaction out of him. So I get it. I get why he wanted to know. He wanted to have the mask on. He wanted to feel it. But when he pops up with that mask and he stabs Hawkins, I think it was just too much. I think they didn't need to go that far. I think it was just too much.